Hello out there, this is Deseran, and welcome back to Let's Play Scratches. Now, found ourselves in a bit of a hole currently. Although we have discovered more about the house and its history. Now, we're going to see if we can find out what that noise was that seemed to have been coming from the basement last night. We didn't want to go in there at night in the pitch dark, since we didn't have any power and couldn't turn on a light. But let's see what we can do now. It seems much quieter. Only the rain. Yes, still no change there. Nothing. Seems quite quiet. Nothing seems to be happening. A huge furnace, of course. Uninteresting boxes. Still a drain cover. A valve that we can't move. How odd. I was hoping there would be some answers down here. The interior of the furnace was as dark as the mouth of a wolf. In any case, I didn't want to spend too much time near it. Perhaps we can light the furnace? I'm no pyromaniac. Very well. We used the stethoscope last night. I couldn't hear anything out of the ordinary. Seems this might not have been the way to come. We've gone through most of the house. All of the house, actually, at this point. What else could there be? Now we have silver key. Is this to the drawer? No. Trying to remember now, where did we use that key? Have we used that key before? I don't think so. Let me see. I don't remember us. No. I don't believe we have used that key. I apologize for my silence while in thought. Let's think clearly. Is the phone still out? Indeed it is. What else occurred in our dream? We heard the scratching sounds. And supposedly, there was a secret room in here. Perhaps this is where we need to be. Supposedly the room was behind this. Wouldn't move. Wait. The bottom of the case seemed to have some kind of panel. Oh, I see. You can see the lines here and here. It was firmly stuck in place. Perhaps we can use the punching tool. No. The hammer? It was pointless. Oil it. Didn't need to be oiled. The knife, finally? Aha! There we go. Panel had been concealing a couple of wheels. Didn't move. Okay, so we can take that on and off. It still won't move, though. Perhaps the oil now. Aha! Move. How do I... Wait, do I need to oil them both? I see. Ah, now we can move it. I apologize for the brief jerk of view. So there is a door back here. The door was heavily barred, and its appearance reminded me of something I had read. There was no way I could remove those boards with my bare hands. Ah, but we have a hammer. Okay. What is in here? It was too dark to see anything. What is that? Oh, we have a lantern. The lamp wasn't lit. Oh, silly me. Now. Whoa! It's a mask. An odd-looking African mask was positioned in the middle of the storeroom. Its presence made me feel terribly uneasy. I see. Some lights. Bamboo. Aha. What have we here? The corner was too dark to investigate. Use the lantern? No, we're already using it. There's enough light at the moment. Aha! Now that there was enough light, I extinguished the lamp to save the oil. Oh, I see. Smart indeed. Very smart, Michael. What do we have here? A couple of letters. July 3rd. My recent researches on the Dal Mar have shed some light upon their terrible activities. I understand now that the lack of existing information about them was not only a cause of their small size and rarity, but also a reluctance, or rather superstitious attitude towards their nature. Even some of the most important historians of South Africa will refuse to mention their name, usually referring to them as the War Tribe. After digging into some of the most obscure books I could find about the subject, I must admit now that reading them made me very nervous and uneasy, bringing back the memory of those horrible acts I witnessed on that day. I can't understand why any human being, uncivilized or not, would behave in such a manner. War among savage tribes is a course very common and a recurring theme in history, but the Dal Mar, they went even beyond war. Usually a tribe will engage in battle to conquer new territory, or perhaps defeat an enemy. They did it for the sole reason of destruction and extreme love for violence. The account of their actions is downright scary. They'd invade villages, slaughtering every inhabitant without regard for their sex or age. Men, women, children would inevitably perish by their fury and hate, which is, I think, the most unsettling element of their stories. They didn't use any weapons. They killed villagers with their bare hands and teeth, as if they were drawing power from an unearthly source. I find it hard to believe this, and if I hadn't seen them with my own eyes, I'd say they were some kind of wild legend. Once they'd slaughtered every living thing in the village, they'd burn it to the ground. Every single construction or possession of the fallen villagers, proof that they definitely were not interested in conquering or even taking some advantage of the terrain. Their motives were moved solely and purely by an incredible despisal of life and hatred towards anything that wasn't from their village. That is another curious thing. They somehow managed to sustain a constant population level, as if they controlled exactly the amount of people needed for an attack, but at the same time warrant survival using their few existing resources. I fear this wasn't some kind of wondrous organization system, but rather an elimination process of a useless member or an unnecessary child. I dare not think about it, but I'm afraid this would explain why they didn't need to hunt for food. They feasted upon themselves. Now I know what the mask I took stands for, and I shiver at the thought of it. I must confess, I'm worried. I don't know why, but I fear for my life. So you went back and stole the mask. I see. What's this? June 24th, 1962. Dear Christopher, please excuse the tone of this letter. I know I must sound like a raving madman, but I truly can't find a proper way to put together all the thoughts that have been taking my sleep away these past days. There is a reason behind all these recent adversities. It's the mask. Christopher, it's that mask I told you about. I wouldn't believe it myself if I hadn't studied its origins on my own, but it's really the source of all my suffering. The tribe it belonged to, I must confess, I didn't take the mask by appropriate means, and I fear this might have unleashed some terrible wrath against my life and everything that surrounds me. It's been over a year ago since I witnessed the most outrageous acts of violence that not even in my worst nightmares could I have imagined, and the mask was the epicenter of it all. What I was thinking of when I took it is beyond me. It was probably a vicious streak of greed, but I can see clearly now. It represents evil, and I'm truly convinced this evil can somehow take shape and punish those who have disgraced it. I did, and now I must face the consequences. I will take some more time to investigate this. I might even go back to South Africa to seek help, although something tells me not even returning the mask would do any good. The damage is already done, and I believe it's getting worse as the days go by. Every time I walk past the gallery, I can hear some incessant odd chatter, as if something was being plotted inside. And those voices, Christopher, they seem to be angry. Please help me. Come and see me as soon as you can. James. Well now. Things are getting more and more interesting. No reason to put that back into place. What? Did anyone else just hear drums? We've discovered so much. What should we do now, though? Still raining. Can't go out into this. Perhaps the phones are back up? They are! Let's try Jerry.
Yes?
Jerry, it's me. You won't believe what I've found here.
Try me.
It's about the happenings that led to the murder you told me about. There's an impressive backstory surrounding this place and many loose ends. It would seem nobody ever stumbled upon this.
Shouldn't you be working on your book?
Are you listening to me? James Blackwood was into some very weird stuff and possibly dangerous. Something tells me this case is much more complex than it was thought to be.
Why don't you inform the authorities? I'm sure they'll be dying to reopen a long-forgotten case about some crazy old psycho killing his wife.
No way. And miss all the fun? I'm doing this on my own. I wonder if those noises I heard have anything to do with this. Maybe James Blackwood was trying to hide something.
Like in that book, where an old man was guarding the entrance to hell. I bet this James Blackwood person had a doorway like that in his basement. Those dreadful noises must be the sounds of the damned coming for you.
Why, thanks, mate. That's been very helpful. Great to have friends like you.
Then stop talking about all this nonsense. Do you have any idea how crazy it sounds? You're a writer, not some fancy PI.
I'll get to the bottom of this. I know I will. I'm certain there's much more to James Blackwood than a simple act of murder.
Now you're sounding more morbid than usual. Simple act of murder? Oh goody. Just somebody died, nothing to worry about. This isn't like you, Michael. This whole thing is really affecting you.
Stop being a drama queen. I'm a grown-up and I'm pretty aware of what I'm doing.
Fine, go chase around the ghosts of James Blackwood. I'll stay here in the real world.
I'll let you know about my progress.
Well then. What about Barbara? Yes, wouldn't be polite to bother her on a Sunday. Although, working on the book is a good suggestion. Perhaps we can actually get some work done. Let's see. Aha! Someone finally wishes to write. Suddenly, she stopped and stood there, paralyzed, hesitant to give any credit to what her eyes were seeing, and completely unaware of the potentially dangerous situation. Surprisingly, there wasn't anything unusual or strange about the event. Little Kathy was hastily crossing the living room towards the huge oak door, her fancy black dress fluttering at every footstep. As the girl reached the doorknob, she turned to look back at Marion and urged her with a whisper to hurry up. But Marion wasn't seeing Kathy. Her memories haunted her back in displaced reality, giving room to the nightmarish vision she had spent months trying to forget, ever since her first visit to the old house. In her dream, she saw the little girl, also wearing a black dress, emerging from a passageway hidden in the room. She'd never actually managed to glimpse where the passage was, only saw the girl running towards her, her small face contorted in a horrible grimace. Marion quickly realized it was a twisted version of the Kathy she would know later, as if her figure was then distorted by a veil of smoke. Her exact movements through the room, reaching for the knob, facing her back, those were too many coincidences to ignore. It wasn't a nightmare that she experienced that day, nor a ghost, something she refused to believe in, but was now willing to blindly embrace as the truth, given the shocking vividness of the vision. A ghost would come from the past. What she'd seen came from the... Her thoughts were interrupted as a figure behind her cast a shadow across the doorstep. "You filthy liar! You betrayed me!" groaned a deep voice. The discoveries I made in the house were too exciting to stop now. I thought that maybe I could investigate further today and return to work tomorrow. Wait. The ending. Have to come up with a suitable ending. The final twist was the most celebrated aspect of VT. They will tear me apart if I don't pull off another thing like that. But how? I'm up to the point where Steve goes mad. She is confused. The visions are becoming real. So now we know for sure there's a supernatural element in the story. Wait, is that really so? Question is, does it have anything to do with the creepy old lady or not? Would it be too obvious if her powers were real after all? Big question. Would people accept it if the solution to the story is unreal? Damn, why am I trying to please everybody here? No Deus ex machina. On the other hand, a realistic solution disguised as supernatural. Is that possible? They're expecting something like that. A real and probable outcome. That's what they loved in VT. Bloody hell, this is driving me insane. Okay. Well, I believe we'll call it here for now. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, a comment down below, subscribe if you wish to see more, and certainly share it with anyone else you think might enjoy it. If you have any suggestions for other games, or on how I can improve my Let's Plays, leave them in the comments below, or you can leave a comment on Facebook and or Twitter. The events of this day had left me unusually tired. I thought it was a good time to head to bed. See. The links to Facebook and Twitter can be found on my channel banner. And I believe in the next part we will go to bed and see what happens. We're certainly learning a lot about the history of this place. And perhaps there is something more going on than just murder. Very well, James. You shall sleep soon. Very well, Michael. You shall sleep soon. Until then, though, this is Deseran. Everyone out there, have a great day, and I'll see you.